Yesterday, we were talking about the Hasan stuff going on, Trash Taste essentially saying that they're not going to have any plans to ever invite him back, as well as his ban on Twitch, which we've got another update on because 24 hours and change later, and we can see that he has been unbanned. Now, that said, Hasan yesterday made a video talking about his Twitch ban, and there's a very funny part where he's very upset at Asmongold. And I think you guys might find this amusing, so let's take a look.
Asmongold, for those of you who don't know, is a right-wing political commentator. He does have some centrist opinions every now and then. I believe he himself actually is a big advocate for healthcare, likes Bernie Sanders, but spends most of his time simply sitting around and reacting to Donald Trump. He is now, officially, by my estimations, a larger right-wing political commentator than even the likes of Ben Shapiro. Very successful in this field. His videos reacting to Donald Trump get millions of views, more so than the Daily Wire could ever dream of.
Okay, so according to what Hasan just said, he's like, based off what he's saying, he's making it sound like he's calling Asmongold right wing simply because Asmongold watches Trump a lot and he gets a lot of views. What the frick? The amount of things I've seen people say like makes you right wing is just nuts. A few years ago, even, there was a major left wing news publication that was trying to make the argument that if you work out, you're reinforcing white supremacy and you're basically some far-right extremist. Simply the act of going to the gym and working out. And then more currently, for example, we see all these modern audience types saying that if you're a gamer and you criticize AAA corporations, that you're also a far-right extremist. Those dang chuds, how dare they criticize Ubislop? And now apparently if you react to Trump and you get a lot of views, you're also right-wing. And you know, if this was like a one-off occasion, I would just be like, okay, to be fair, these people are probably not phrasing things well. Like, there's no way they actually mean all that, right? But nah, it's such a recurring theme over the years that this is just how they are, I guess.
Asmongold also is the largest political content creator on Twitch in general. He's the largest political streamer now. He's double my size. He's always been double my size, but he's now double my size when it comes to political commentary as well.
I love how Hasan says that Asmon is double his size, and then his editor presumably puts this image there and like doesn't even back up what Hasan is saying. Obviously, that's not a big deal. I just thought it was kind of funny. And it's also funny how personal Hasan seems to be taking this thing with Asmongold being bigger than me.
So let's see what the largest free speech defender had to say. He actually voluntarily brings this up in a YouTube video called, "What the F is Twitch doing?" The YouTube video is from 2 days ago with 1 million views. The first 13 minutes of it is just reacting to the latest Ethan Klein video, who is falsely smearing me as someone who doesn't care about Israeli civilians or whatever, which is obviously incorrect, but we'll get to that perhaps down the line. He packaged that up with the Libs of TikTok video to call for my banning.
So this is some more weird phrasing from Hasan. He specifically says that Asmon is using some Libs of TikTok video, right? However, you'll be able to see in a minute when Hasan plays that part of Asmon's video that that's not actually what happens. The video being referred to is a clip from Hasan's own stream, presumably the one that got him banned. And the tweet that Asmon will be taking a look at is not from Libs of TikTok, it's from a different account called Yeet. So yeah, it's just really weird to suddenly bring Libs of TikTok up into this when, again, that's not what Asmon was even looking at. Funny enough, that's not the only thing that Hasan gets wrong in this video either. We'll get to that part in just a moment.
Here we go.
Hey, Dan Clancy. Time to wish Hasan another happy birthday song, you hack. Anyone else will get permabanned on Twitch for this. This is beyond the pale. This is enticing your audience to kill a sitting senator. Don't people go to jail for this? This is not me enticing my audience to kill a sitting U.S. senator. That is ridiculous. Everybody knows that that is ridiculous. The people that are complaining about this know that that is ridiculous. But I'm glad that I was able to show you the context, the full context of what I was talking about. If you cared about Medicare fraud or Medicaid fraud, you would kill Rick Scott, okay? You wouldn't make Rick Scott, former governor of Florida, Rick Scott, you wouldn't make him a prominent part of the Republican Party.
That is crazy. That is nuts. And I've said before, there's a statute of limitations, but apparently this was yesterday. Yeah, this happened yesterday even. Oh my God. How's that not against the TOS? It is. And it is an open call to violence. And I would challenge anybody who thinks that it's not an open call to violence to say that exact thing about Donald Trump, and then tell me if Secret Service shows up at your house or not. Really. It's very obviously a call to violence. And Twitch doesn't do anything. Well, I don't know if they've really seen it or anybody's reported it or anything like that.
I think Asmongold is covering this because he wants Twitch to see it. He's done this a couple times in the past couple of weeks. I understand. We are ideologically butting heads on Twitch. Asmongold and I disagree vehemently on a lot of issues. all the way from the history of Nazi Germany down to the fact that immigrants are not actually contributing to the American crime rates in the way that the Republican administration presents it. They're not destroying our culture in the way that Asmongold approaches the subject matter. There's plenty of disagreements there. And I think that he's doing this deliberately, I will say, in an effort to, shit stir a little bit and try to get me banned, which worked.
The clip's too short. Maybe it's out of context. I hope so. I definitely do. Hopefully it's out of context. How are you gonna...
Now, once he said this, does Asmongold go back and seek out the context? No, he doesn't.
Yeah, so it turns out that Hasan is wrong, that Asmongold did actually go and look at the full context, which takes us over to that Yeet account once again, as they do post the clip of that happening. Before we play that brief clip, let's also take note that earlier in the video, Hasan claimed that Asmongold was calling for his ban. But it doesn't seem like, based off what we've seen so far, that's really what happened. It's more so people were like, isn't this breaking TOS? And Asmon explained why he thinks it is. But at the same time, it's not like he was literally calling for Hasan to get banned either, at least from what I've seen. Okay, so now back to this tweet. Yeet saying, clip of Asmongold reacting to full quote-unquote context of Hasan's Rick Scott take.
The reason why I'm saying if you cared about Medicare or Medicaid fraud, you would kill Rick Scott is because, and not make him a prominent part of the Republican Party, is because he, to this day, is still...
He repeats it.
Also known as committing the largest Medicare fraud in U.S. history.
Oh, God. What are we doing? What is this, bro? Are you kidding me? So the context makes it worse. Holy shit.
I don't even know what to say. Wow. Can you believe how much you used to vouch for this guy? I don't vouch for anyone. I look at what's true and what's not true. There's been a lot of criticism of Hasan that's inaccurate and unfair. This isn't one of those cases. I will be fair in every single situation completely. And it doesn't matter who it is or what that person treats me as. I can't defend this. I'll tell you that. Not even for a second. This is indefensible? It is. It's completely indefensible. Absolutely.
Now, ultimately, Hasan ends his video titled, I Got Canceled, with this.
That is my anger. That is my frustration. And every single person, not Asmongold, but every single Republican operative online, from Tim Pool to Libs of TikTok to many others, know that that is the reality. But they also want you to be distracted. They don't want you to realize that this is what the Republicans are doing. So I urge all liberals, progressives, or even people who are worried about their grandparents or their parents losing their health care, people who might be worried about their children no longer being able to receive Medicaid, to focus on who the vectors of harm truly are, what they're actually doing, instead of constantly engaging in petty squabbles. I shouldn't have used the term kill. I should have used either the term capital punishment or just punishment in general. But once again, I've let you down. I've used hyperbolic language, and that hyperbolic language has brought trouble my way. As one of the largest progressive, leftist, political content creators online, in what feels like is a sea of reactionary sentiment, I am promising you that I will try to use more deliberate and more careful language going forward.
Dealing with healthcare in the US can certainly be an awful, terrifying, terrible experience. I've even been seeing what these companies are trying to do to my own mom the last few years, and yeah, I'm not going to defend any of those corpos. At the same time, that doesn't mean that Hasan can't be criticized, and people can also point out the massive double standards that go on over at Twitch. And Hasan acting all weird towards Asmon's viewers and his view count and all that comes off so petty. But let me know what you think about all this stuff in the comments. As always, thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed the coverage, please consider liking and or subscribing, and have a great rest of your week. I'll see you in the next one.